Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title, I am engaged and I'm really excited to start planning the wedding. We are a year out from the wedding, but I definitely have a ton more to do. We definitely haven't booked everything. We've only booked a couple of things, but I have learned so much throughout this process and I feel like I can share some of that with you guys, and if I help just one person, that is enough for me. So we've been engaged for about 8 months now. I won't really go into like the personal stuff. I don't really feel like anyone cares. This video is really just meant to share my experience with you, and any tips that I can give to you. If they help you, awesome. If they don't, it's just like one more person's experience, and I feel like it's really helpful. When I first got engaged, we kind of chilled out. We didn't really think about the wedding. We weren't really worried about it. We didn't have the money or time to really put into a wedding, so it just kind of went on like nothing was different, just because we do live together, so it's already like being married. Now this process alone is enough to make me want to just go to the courthouse. It's insane how crazy the wedding world is, but we have already booked our venue, already booked a photographer, so we are gonna have this wedding. At first, I really wanted a destination wedding. I wanted like not that many people there. I wanted it to be really awesome, some crazy trip. But when people's opinions started rolling in about not wanting to travel or not wanting to pay for travel, we realized that doing the wedding here in Knoxville where we live was probably the smarter thing. So being a year out from the wedding and just starting the process now, like if you're a year out from your wedding but you've been engaged for 2 years, kind of planning your stuff for 2 years, you might already have some of this stuff booked. So really this video is more for people that are just getting into the process, just because that's how I was. I waited a few months before I started planning, and now that we're planning, you know, we're starting to do like the first steps. I would say the first thing to book is your venue. A, they book up, and B, they are the most important. I mean, if you don't have a place to have your wedding, it's not going to happen. If there is something like in your particular city or just that you want that is really important to you that you feel like you might not get, I mean, definitely like book that whenever. But for me, a venue is so important. I wanted to plan everything all at once just in my head, and I kept coming back to, well, I don't know what the space looks like, or I don't know where it's going to be. I don't know if it's indoor or outdoor and all of that. So a venue just was logical. Tips for finding a venue. Look online first and Facebook and ask people you know, and just kind of get an idea of what you're looking for. Look at pictures, look at websites and everything like that. However, it is completely different once you see it in person, so obviously you want to look at it. When you actually start touring venues, I highly recommend bringing a notebook and pen with you. I know that's old school. A lot of people use phones now, and I mean, I use my phone for everything, but having a pen and paper was somehow a little bit more helpful to me, and it kept things straight. All of these places run together. The names are similar. If you don't love the venue, it doesn't really leave a lasting impression on you. So being able to write everything down and just have it there that you can look at was extremely helpful. Some questions that I asked when I was looking at venues was, what are your restrictions as far as vendors, like food and floral and cake and all of that, because I work in a bakery. I'm getting my cake from the bakery, so I needed to be able to provide my own cake. I didn't want a specific bakery to have to do it, and again with food, my aunt is a caterer, so I want her food, and if they didn't allow that, that kind of just completely shut off that venue. I'm not gonna go there. Also restrictions as far as decor, and like some people like to do confetti send-offs or sparkler send-offs, and asking, are those allowed? Because I've seen multiple venues where confetti, glitter, and sparklers aren't allowed. It kind of makes sense to me, but at the same time it's frustrating because we actually did want confetti, and we can't do it at our venue, so I'm having to come up with something else. But that was something I was willing to compromise on just because it wasn't that big of a deal. So I want a ton of candles at the wedding, and the candles have to be in glass containers, and while that doesn't seem like a big deal, you have to think about costs. Like, in addition to buying all of the candles, we have to buy glass containers for the candles to go in, and the ones I'm looking at now are running like 10 to 15 per table, like for what I want. And you know, we're gonna have at least 10 tables. So, I mean, it just all adds up, and we are on a budget. Having to figure out how to have what I want, but like fit it into the budget is extremely hard. So definitely knowing those things beforehand is helpful, just because you can see if it fits within your budget ahead of time, as opposed to like signing the contract, giving the deposit, and then actually getting to purchasing decor and realizing how much it's gonna cost. If you have any more questions about venues, leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. But I can't really think of anything else about the venue. Something else that I decided to do like far out from the wedding is get a wedding binder. Helps me keep everything really, really organized. I was thinking about doing a separate video on that, just because I can ramble on and on about all of this stuff and I didn't want an hour-long video. I've also already gone to a bridal show, and while the bridal show was not helpful at all, it was really more stressful than anything. I think some people really can benefit from them, and it was nice to just kind of see what's out there. So if there is one in your area and it's relatively inexpensive, I highly recommend just going and checking it out. One thing that I do recommend when going to a bridal show, or just in general like planning a wedding, is creating your own wedding email. I created one just so I could delete it after all of this is over, and I stopped getting all these crazy wedding emails. There's so many, and I'm tired of them already, but some of them are helpful. Some of them have coupon codes and just tips and tricks and like sweepstakes. So I just put like my future last name and then the date of the wedding, and at gmail.com just created a new Gmail account, and now I have a completely separate one. I was able to go to the bridal show and give them that email, and you know, just all the stuff is in there. In addition to you being able to delete it and not have to see those emails again, it's nice to have a specific email where everything is, so you just have to look in that one place. Since I am fortunate enough to have a year until the wedding, I am also planning on just kind of changing my lifestyle as far as eating. I am extremely unhealthy. Like, I eat the worst foods, I do not work out, and I work in a bakery, so I'm eating sugar every day. I need to eat more vegetables, I need to eat more fruit, I need to eat less Chick-fil-A, so I'm also might do a video about that as well. There's some stuff I've been loving that's actually helped me a lot, so I think I might do that. I would love to really have a series on my channel that is about the wedding. I definitely want to do more videos throughout the whole year. I might do like a couple a month, 3 a month, and then maybe skip a couple of months. It kind of just depends on what I've planned in that time period and if I have anything new to share. If you have any specific questions about my wedding or just in general, leave them in the comments and I would love to answer them. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will definitely see you in my next one. Bye!